Well, back to cutting fence rows today. Got a 3-day weekend for Martin Luther King Day, so figured I'd come home and take advantage of it. This shouldn't be too bad because there's not really any chipping to do. It's basically just going to be whack the limbs off, throw them off in the woods. And even if I wanted to chip, I couldn't do it anyway because it's been 40 degrees for the last 2 days, so the ground thawed out, and now it's back down to freezing, but there's only maybe a 1/4 inch of the ground that's actually frozen, and it's just barely firm enough to walk across, so there ain't no way I'm getting a tractor down here. Plus this field's the furthest one away from the house. It's almost 7 miles, so for 3.5 acres it's not really worth dragging the tractor and chipper down here. I do wish this field was bigger though, because it is some really good ground, which surprises me. And it's weird because it's got a red tinge to it, which normally doesn't happen up here because the soil's too young for it. Normally it's older soils that are red from the oxidation, which is basically the natural weathering process of soil. But whatever kind of ground it is, it grows really good corn. This is actually a field that went 200 bushel an acre this year. Oh, that's a viney mess. Dadgummit. Grapevines are the worst invention ever. Although I'm really surprised nobody's figured out how to use them to make rope, because that'd be some strong shit. There's been a couple, because on grapevines, normally, if you get them cut away from the trunk and get a chain wrapped around them, you can hook onto it with a tractor and pull the whole vine out of the tree. But we've had a couple where we tried doing that, where the vine is so strong we actually pulled the stinking tree over. So, long story short, grapevine's very strong. Can I reach it? Really need about one more extension for this pole saw. And it'd be perfect. But what we're probably going to end up doing, Dad's got one of two ideas. Well, actually, Dad's got an idea and I got an idea, I guess is a better way to put it. But what Dad wants to do is build a wagon hitch for the back of the chipper, so that one, when we're going to cut on fence rows, we can pull the wagon behind us and have all our crap in it, so that I don't got to keep putting it in the back of the chipper, and you can't haul everything in the chute of that anyway. But he wants to make it in such a way as when we get to the field, we can swing it over to the side and actually pull the wagon off to one side of the chipper, and then set up one section of scaffolding in the bed of the wagon so you can stand up on that scaffolding, cut branches off, throw them down, and have one guy cutting and one guy running through the chipper all at the same time. So that's Dad's idea. What I want to do is build a, actually wouldn't even need to build it, we already got a cage for the forklift, but get a set of forks for the loader when we get it put on the 1600. And then we've got a big 5x5 by probably 2.5 foot deep parts basket that Dad got from one of the shops he used to work at, and it makes a really good work platform because you're caged in on it. But that's what I would want to do, is put that cage on a loader, because then hell, you could probably get up between the reach on the pole saw and the reach on the loader almost 30 feet. But each one had its upsides and its downsides, so in the end probably gonna end up doing them both. Well, just about done here, and to go fuel the saw back up. Got all the way down through here, dropped a tree there, took a branch off that walnut. This looks a whole lot better. That one branch was probably 50 feet out over the field or better. So my landlord came out and saw how I was just pitching the brush out of the woods, and he said, that's too much work, just pile it up and I'll push it out there with my loader tractor when the ground firms back up. So that's why I just started piling it. But all I got left to do is There's 2 hard leaners down here I gotta drop. And this field will be done, 'cause I already, oh, it would have been this last summer, but the summer before I came down here when I had beans out in the field and worked down that fence line, or that side of the fence line up to where he's got his path going into the woods here. And the reason I did that in the summer is because I'm stupid, and by the time I got up to there, I was like, you know, it is too stinking hot to be doing this shit, so that's when I decided to quit. But the other part of the reason I did it was it really needed done, because that side of the fence, or that side of the field, was actually way worse than this side. 'Cause there was branches that were probably 20 feet up in the tree that were leaning down and almost touching the ground, so I couldn't get underneath them, and so that just needed to be taken care of. And the mini boss is back to running like a raped ape, so that spark arrestor definitely was the problem. Oh, don't tell me you cooled off that fast. Actually, right after I start talking good about it. I actually ran it out of fuel, and this one, my big saw's not bad about it, but this one, if you run it all the way out of fuel, you got to crank it a little bit to get it primed back up. And for one brick, I'm just going to pitch it out there. Damn it. Now I gotta drop that one and that littler one over there. Probably should have brought my big saw down, but I wasn't really expecting to be dropping any trees. But this saw ought to get through them. I don't even think I'm going to bother notching it, because that's just a good way to get the saw pinched, and then I'm screwed. I hate briars. Ow, 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 ow. Alrighty. Now that was uneventful. Come on, roll off the stump. Good tree. heck is that? Something over there just squalling, sounded like a bearing locking up. There we go. Alrighty, last one. Huh. It's interesting. This one's gonna pop bad. That thing is ugly. Looks... I don't know if that's a box elder or what. It's softer than hell. This is the perfect little lemon saw. You can just fly through there. Grape. Amazing what that little guy will chew through when it can actually breathe. And with that, we are done cleaning fence rows for the year. Not bad for basically 4 weeks. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 6 fields done. So, barring any more ice storms that might bring something down, this will be it. Do have to go over to the barn where we keep the combines, because that storm took down a couple small branches, but I'm already considering dropping that sucker while I'm here. I think I'm going to do that. Normally, I try to be conservative as possible when it comes to dropping big stuff like that. And, well, conservative if it's any kind of good tree. That was box elder or something junk. That red center's throwing me off a bit, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is. But this looks like it's a possibly a sugar maple, which is not a junk tree. So normally I try to leave them alone if at all possible. do. That piece big enough to cut up for firewood. Okay, now we're done cleaning fence rows for this year. So, this ought to make life a whole lot easier. These fields have been needing cleaned up since I started farming them, but time and projects just never allowed. This has been the first year since I started college we haven't had a tractor or something in the shop working on it, because freshman year we had my 1600 in there, all tore apart. Last year we had the 1800 in there, all tore apart. What did we have in there sophomore year? Seems like sophomore year we had my grain truck in there working on it over break. Senior year of high school, or no, junior year, it was junior or senior year of high school is when we had my 1955 in there all tore apart. So this is really the first year we haven't had any other projects to speak of, and it was actually kind of a good year for it because we didn't have to wade through all the snow to get it done. But I guess that does it for this one, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.